proving so effective as we'll get the first pistol round underway.
I think as part of it is certainly nerves. You obviously you know how important those rounds are as conversion rounds and being able to accumulate a bit more economy on the respective side that you're dealing with. Of course, London Slayers have had a better conversion rate in terms of being able to capitalize on force buys, but coming straight into the pistol round, Stanley's going to find the opening pick onto Fry. London Esports making a bit of presence over towards middle as towards those lower tunnels, and they will find a response eventually. Thomas chimes in as well. But it's into the 3 versus 4, and Mighty Max is still holding the cross. This flank is ensuing, though, from Rom.
Oh, Soulcast taking off the head of Rom. Pushes up through lower, tries to have a little bit of an explore towards upper before reassessing his options. Just looking to see if there was anyone else left to try and trade that kill. But it is a 3v3 situation right now. The Slayers spread out all across the map, so London Esports can very easily isolate 1v1s, 1vx's here, and gain the advantage, get themselves a bomb plant, but they're playing pretty passive here up towards mid right now. We've got Smooya, though, on long, is going to decide to push his way up and act as an early warning signal to that A-bomb site, so they can get the rotates in quickly, but what's going to be the decision here for London Esports? It looks like it's going to be a short play. Astra's already posted up on the angle. We'll actually see Smooya jump back towards the site, and Smooya posted up on that angle as well. He'll have heard the bullet that was shooting at him. So here comes the push through mid then for London Esports. Here comes the boost as well from Smooya. He failed it the first time, but finally gets up there. There's the sound cue as well, as Thomas will find a frag on that B site defense. Thomas, he's done it on that. Oh, well, what was basically all alone, even though he had the suppressing fire from Smooya, Money Max standing strong.
Yeah, Thomas with 4 kills in that round was fantastic for the London Slayers. The fact that he's able to get that opening
Thomas,
pick,
yeah. I was going to say.
getting that opening kill as well towards B, and then suddenly finding his way into a position where, like you said, the sort of suppressing fire there from the rotating players, as well as the missed jump, actually drew some additional attention away. They were watching that smoke so heavily and allowed Thomas to kind of spring in and find those kills. So it's a very clean, it ended up being a pretty clean round for London Slayers. Obviously, it was a bit rocky to start things off, but now in this round, London Esports not investing anything. They're just going to see if they can maybe pull a few weapons away. But with these SMGs available, this could be pretty much a free farm here for Stanley.
Yeah, I blew it. What can I say? But there we go. The kill's going the way of the CT side at this moment in time. Smooya will fall, though. That does result in a FAMAS being picked up from Astro, but Stanley will be able to find the kill. And staying with Rom as well on that FAMAS. So London Slayer is able to convert their second round and not get into that awkward reset position that they have done so on previous occasions. So we'll get ourselves into the first gun round here. 2-0 is the scoreline, and this is going to be a very, very interesting play because we've got the 4 players for the London Slayers pushing their way up through long, but the thing is the kills are going the way of London Esports as well. A failed stack on the long position there for the Slayers. That has resulted in a 2 versus 4. Ardis on 11 HP. You can see exactly what they were trying to do there, but the thing is, London Esports, they managed to get themselves out and ready to take those aim duels, and they come out on top.
Yeah, and the London Slayers are already stacked towards that A site just because they had lost that early presence and lost that early control. London Esports able to bypass that altogether. They've given it up, and they're now making their way over towards the B bomb site, which of course we can see is completely open, completely vacant by the London Slayers. Smooth had a chance to maybe drop a player on the cross, but that will not be a shot that is hit by him. So holding on to these weapons, certainly the right play here for the London Slayers, but I think, like you said, that this long pressure very early on and those fights going the way of London Esports was the most crucial point of the round.
Yeah, exactly. And early statements, you could say, for the Slayers going for that sort of play this early on, but unfortunately for them, it didn't quite work out, and now all of the London Esports players will be on the hunt to rip away the saved weaponry from the Slayers right now. So London Esports, they'll get their first round up onto the boards, and looks like in all likelihood that the London Slayers will be able to save those weapons into the next round. But I'm just wondering how many more fierce battles on long that we're going to get, because it's like from that early sign, it might be a very, very hotly contested part of the map, and it usually is in most matches here on Dust 2, but between these teams, perhaps even more so.
So the reinvestment comes in from the London Slayers, an SMG on one of these players early on. Eccles, oh, he's going to try and beat past the smoke. Thomas, he's ran straight through it. He gets two with the AUG, the third almost being lined up. Stanley picks up the pieces. A lot of damage done onto Soulcast, and the Molotov burns him out. Astro now, the last remaining player for London eSports, is he's only got the AK in hand. He had made some presence towards the lower tunnels, but they know that his position. They know that he's likely to try and go back for that bomb. And Mighty Max, he plays up close. He has the MP9, and he hits the shot. That's a nice little upgrade for him as well. A good round there from London Slayers.
The Slayers will get their third. Yet another round where that long position has been hotly contested. We'll see the force spy come out, though, for the London eSports side. An AWP, 2 AKs, Deagle in hand for Fry, and the CZ in hand for Eccles as well. So a little bit haphazard as they'll head their way towards the tunnels and then head their way down towards mid as well. That flash just to flush out any of these tight angles. Does get the sound cue, though, that Mighty Max could have heard, so he'll relay that information to his team. But the Xbox smoke will perhaps allow Fry to get up there. There's no short presence right now for the Slayers, so that's a bit of map control that London eSports can easily take as Fry does jump on top of the box. Mighty Max is just completely unaware of the situation right now. They might even just go for their own boost here. There we go. Stanley posted up on the short angle. This is a fantastic place to be, but the smoke is going to fade.
Yeah, and the radar is going to be a huge factor here. As this begins to fade, they're going to spot things out, but they don't even give Fry the opportunity. He's going to put past the Molotov. Stanley able to deal with that aggression. That was one of the avenues of attack that London eSports was trying to exploit. It's go through middle towards this B split, and Rom, he's up close towards the car, only able to get the one kill so far. Two players dropped from the London Slayers on that B hold to Stanley. He's still up close to Personal. The flash will come in. One of the players has dodged it, though. Artis avoiding the flashbang. They'll hold on to the advantage for now, but Thomas, he's going for a very okay, he backed away from that exact same play, but they go for the boost instead over the smoke.
Yep, exactly. Smooya like a turret on top of the smoke. Not going to be able to find anyone as the London eSports players are already inside of their post-plant positions. Smooya, we go head towards top man, save that AWP into the next round. So comfortable round there for London eSports. What can I say in that sort of situation? You could see what I believe it was Stanley trying to do with that flash through the through the B doors, trying to catch out a couple of players. It was well avoided though. Smooya able to gain himself an exit frag, but that's about all that he'll get in this sort of situation. But it's those sorts of plays that really do sort of make the difference in the grand scheme of things, because if you can establish the fact that in the other players' heads that smokes aren't impenetrable walls, they'll start to be a little bit more paranoid.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's inconvenient for London Slayers is that they have the right idea in mind, right? A couple of those players were flashed up, but Artis was just outside the tunnels, and he actually just tucked himself away such that the flashbang would peek on the other side of the boxes. So it's convenient timing for London eSports, but that flashbang, had it been a little bit deeper, would have been perfect for Stanley. So it is a little bit unfortunate, some slim margins coming into factor. But London eSports, this was a hotly contested part of the map earlier on, but instead, London Slayers are going to get aggressive off of short, Stanley pushing top middle.
Yep, exactly. Oh, Stanley almost catching the player of Soulcast off guard there as he will decide to repeat, but Smooya has to hold strong here on the long position, and Mighty Max does, well, he gets found there. Well, he does find the frag, excuse me, on towards Fry, so the trade's coming through, and a 4v4 situation to manage now as Soulcast tries to find some semblance of map control up through mid, but Mighty Max, he might, it was just so close to starting to appear on Soulcast's stream, but he gets the push up through short for Thomas, but Soulcast is there ready and waiting, peaked at the exact right time to be able to deal with him, as the rest of the London eSports players, they'll decide to head themselves towards that upper tunnel. Oh, okay.
No, that's the B anchor taken care of. The AWP of Astro comes into play. Mighty Max there on the rotation, but he's 17 HP. Any bit of utility could completely push him away from the site. And with that Molotov deployed, he's going to try and his best to escape, because Smooya, although he's holding for that cross, he's holding for that push to come out from London to maybe chase these weapons, he's going to try and value this AWP, bringing it into that next round.
Yeah, exactly. Not much going to happen in the rest of this round as they have decided to go for the save on the A site, and that is what I really like to see, because you know, a lot of the times when you get yourself into some more unstructured Counter-Strikes, like your standard Face-It pugs, your SEA pugs, and the dreaded games. Sometimes you just, it's a bit of a waste just going for a random 2v4 that you just know you're not going to win, or just like the percentage of you winning that round is so low. So it's just better, it's just more beneficial in the grand scheme of the entire game just to, you know, keep hold of the weaponry and not give any unnecessary advantage away.
Yeah, so London eSports will hold on to those 4 players. Soulcast, I believe, had 1 HP at the very end of the round. So holding on to that rifle, certainly a lot of money saved there for him. London Slayers, however, they are just going to be the 2 rifles saved from our previous round, Mighty Max and Smooya.
Yep.
Smooya, of course, on that AWP, the utility available for him as well. A kit available should London Slayers bring it closer into a post plant. And London eSports, if they get caught out by these aggressive pushes here from the London Slayers, they're already trying to make and contest short. Oh, but the boost spotted them out. So I think if they recontest, London eSports are going to hold for this for a little bit longer, just in case Stanley does go for something else. But it doesn't seem like he's feeling that type of a play. He's going to back himself away.
Ardis has the correct angle, but he's not going to get pressure just yet. And here comes a late long take here for the London Slayers, gaining very crucial information indeed. There's only one player on the other side of those long doors, and that is going to be the player of Eccles that has to be here holding strong, gets tagged down to 34 HP. So that is long, once again, of course, being taken by the London Slayers, but the thing is, that's not where the main point of attack is going to come from. Stanley on the top of the boxes here in CT spawn. Unfortunately for him, there's going to be no one heading his way just for now, as up through short, London eSports decided to go, and here's Mighty Max using that org save from the last round. This could be very crucial indeed. Oh, he does manage to spray Ardis down. Fantastic stuff there from Mighty Max, as that is the cue now for the rest of London eSports to try and get themselves on towards the A site. Mighty Max is still here, ready and waiting on the ramp, just waiting to be pushed, asking to be pushed. But the thing is, it comes at the cost of Stanley going down. Mighty Max manages to find one, so does Thomas. 2v2 situation. Now Astro missed the shot there on towards Thomas. The Orps battling. But the thing is, Astro on top of the bomb, on top of the box. Not able to find the shot. He's got support from short though, but that is taken down by Smooya. Astro versus 2 finds that one. Does he? No, he doesn't find the second. Smooya is able to dome him in the head. And that is going to be the defuse coming through for London Slayers. They will take the lead.
And that is exactly how London Slayers want a round to play out. They have Mighty Max take early aggression. He delays for as long as possible. That's the org spotted out. And as they come in on the rotations, there's more and more players for the London eSports side to deal with, and that draws some additional attention away from Max. He gets another kill, and it comes into this clutch situation. I think as well, that early tag onto Eccles really had a lot of impact later on. It allowed Thomas to pick up an AK for himself, apply a bit more pressure, and ultimately London Slayers, that's a round that they have no business winning, but they run away with it just because of some of these fantastic plays, especially the individual of Mighty Max. To be able to get 2 kills in that situation is more than you could have asked for.
But the thing is, there's the other counter argument that he can make is that he basically baited his teammates in that sort of situation because, you know, he knew they were pushing ramp, you know, he let them out onto the site, and Stanley actually fell as a result. So, you know, that's, you know, it's not always the ideal situation, of course.
They didn't bring any too much money into the round. So they only had Mighty Max and Smooya save those weapons coming in.
Yeah.
So the value on each of those players is maybe a bit lopsided heavy. If it was a standard round, I'd 100% agree in the fact that you don't want to be baiting your teammates in situations like that, outside of maybe, say, if Smooya being 9 HP, you're in a 1v2, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Smooya, though, early on in the round, gets tagged down to 9 HP. Playing on the long position with it, or just posted up on the short position right now. But the thing is, London eSports have managed to make their way through those mid doors. There is a boost for Stanley up in that CT spawn. The crossfire with Rom could be oh so important as Rom finds the back of Fry, and they're not going to be expecting Stanley in this position, but he hasn't found an angle just yet. Eccles now suspects he's basically just looking right at him, but the smoke isn't going to help him at all. Eccles is so paranoid right now, and Mighty Max manages to finish him off. But the thing is, the B bomb site is pretty open because Mighty Max had to rotate up through and trying to defend mid. There we go. Mighty Max trying to spray the players down, but simply not able to. There we go. Oh my god, Thomas, what are you doing jumping out the window like that?
Oh my goodness.
London Slayers will win the rounds. I'm so confused.
so the justification there is because I don't know if you noticed the clock. It came down to very close timings there. So
yeah.
the idea was to deny the bomb plant, like and you saw London Slayers won by default. London eSports didn't all die. They did die in the end.
Yeah.
But that was the justification. They were just barreling out, and yeah, you see the sufferings of that, right? Soulcast down to 400 HP or 400 HP. If he had 400 HP, that's 4 people. He's $400.
Yeah, I mean, 400 HP, that would be slightly more questionable. Maybe you have to get VAC involved, but up through
Level
short.
4 body armor.
Yeah, exactly. London eSports all stacked up towards short. Smooya has a lot of work to do. If they can rush down this orb, that would be a very sketchy situation for London eSports. But Smooya looking for the fish shot, misses, and that's going to be the drop through as well. Smooya can't land any of these shots, but the thing is, Thomas is there, ready to support with that org. But again, when you have one AWPer against 5 rushing Ts with pistols, I mean, you can't land all 5 shots in quick succession unless you're absolutely insane, or unless they line up and you get like the pentacle out or something, you know, like. But still, it's you know, in the end, it's a relatively simple round, but it's one of those fine margins where it can go all wrong.
So we talked about this during the break, obviously off stream, but we were sort of going through the players that would maybe pick up the secondary AWP for London Slayers, and it will be Rom. That was who I expected. He will hold on the back flat, gets the first one to Soulcast, obviously the 4 gun round, tags up and legs Artis, but cannot find the follow-up kill. Mighty Max is at least here to prevent them from making too much progress on the bomb site, but with that flash coming through, that should allow London some additional space. They're still stagnant though. They're using a lot of utility to try and secure some foothold on this B bomb site, and they haven't made too much progress. Smooya is already in the upper tunnels as well, and he's going to have reinforcements coming in from Thomas.
Yes, he will. Multi-prongs retake here for the London Slayers. The bomb will finally get itself planted on the B site, and Thomas, well, himself and his teammate are currently smoked off at that upper tunnels position. Mighty Max pushes up on towards the window, but the gunfights will happen now as the kills will go in the favor of the CT side. But the thing is, Astro has managed to pull it back into a 1 versus 1, and Smooya makes sure it's a 1 versus 0 as the defuse will come through for the Slayers. They're going to be very happy about that one as we get a view of their station.
Yeah, the AWP walking away from that duel, a crucial 1v1 to win for the London Slayers, as London eSports once again are in a bit of a weird situation where they can afford up a buy, but that round I think is a bit of a strange one as well from the London eSports camp. The fact that they were very stagnant in their ability to retake or actually just secure a foothold on that B bomb site, it allowed so many avenues of attack to be opened up for London Slayers. We'll see the double up setup come out once again for London Slayers on the CT side, and there's minimal amounts of utility on the side of London eSports to deal with it.
Rom pushing up with the AWP, but that's the risk you'd have to take with that. Or Fry able to find the 2 entry kills on towards the B site. Stanley manages to pull one back though as he takes the head of Artis. That Molotov will miss. It blocks off the window as well. That's not the ideal situation at all, as all 3 of these CT players will decide to head their way up towards the tunnel. So they're just going to all barrel out here of the upper tunnel. Stanley going to be the first one out. Fry manages to find him, but the thing is, Fry is going to be traded out by Thomas, as Thomas wants, you know, these trades going absolutely either way, but Smooya in the 1 versus 2. Not expecting the off angle for Astro on top of the car instead of behind it. And it ends up, that positioning ends up meaning that he wins the round.
Yeah, Astro getting up on top of that box. Smooya aims though, Astro goes high. And when you take the high road, sometimes that means that you're the better person, but in this case it means that Astro is the will come out on top of the exchange. He's the better of the 2 players in that particular duel. Obviously, a disadvantageous peak for Smooya, but he will have an AWP in this round. Obviously, the rest of his team unable to afford up too much, so they'll hope that Smooya can pull off some heroics here. And early on into this round, it doesn't seem like he's going to be given too many opportunities, especially since London eSports aren't putting too much of an emphasis on those upper tunnels.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We'll pretend we didn't see that, Eccles. That simply didn't happen. Astro able to find the first kill of the round though, onto Osmuya as well. So that was an AWP battle. But thing is, the Rom was able to actually recover that AWP as the T players were blind as they tried to wait their way out through the mid doors, but completely smoked off Rom and Mighty Max. So free bomb site to plant on for the London eSports players right now. I suspect Rom will, at this early stage, still decide to save that AWP. But the thing is, the rest of the Slayers players, as we went through that during the break, there's, you know, they can go for the exit frags on Thomas and Stanley. Mighty Max might just try to make a hero play through at some point and try and find a frag, but it's going to be, again, the slave for the London Slayers. And there was a joke that I made on one of the University Counter-Strike streams that I do on occasion, and there was a team called the National Railway Museum, which is the University of York here in the UK. And we just ended up calling them the National Save Museum because it seemed like every single round they decided to save all the weaponry that they had. But Mighty Max will find one kill with the USP on the exit frags, but one is the only one that he's going to find. But London eSports now strung 2 rounds together in a row. Still getting the double up setup though.
Well, they saved the double up setup.
Yeah, and that's really important because a double up setup is a absolutely huge investment. And if you're going to lose that just as you get it, that's a lot of money just absolutely thrown down the drain. So it's very important for them to keep hold of those snipers.
So it was a heavily contested area at the start of this game. London eSports this time will be able to take long control very early on. They try and reestablish themselves over towards short, and that's fantastic from Stanley. It's a 3-man spray down with the AUG, and it's a very quick round from the London Slayers as Smuya chimes in with 2 of his own. London eSports get completely shut out of that round. Stanley
with the 3K spray down, and Smuya with 2 AWP kills. London eSports, the round was basically over before it even started. That is just sometimes disheartening when you lose a gun round that quickly. They will force back into this one though. Glil on Astro, or AK on Soulcast, they all barrel out of the upper tunnels. Rom will find one, he'll find the second as well. Mighty Max, Rom will find the third, and that last player is completely blind. So another quick round for the London Slayers. They basically won 2 rounds within a minute.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Those are 2 rush plays that have not panned out for London eSports, and you can see the impact it has on their economy. Those were two rounds where they fully invested, and this is going to have to be a force. Yeah, this is going to have to be a force fight because it's the last round of the half. London eSports, they may have backed themselves into a corner here. London Slayers are going to get very aggressive up through middle. Stanley catching them out, finds the first kill until Astro. Soulcast already taken down to 5 HP, only a Deagle in hand to contest. Eccles dealt with in the lower tunnels. Everything is going wrong for London eSports in this round. Soulcast was able to get 1 kill in response, but they're in the 2 versus 4, and with only pistols available, this is not looking good.
It's starting to collapse for London eSports, and the kill into Fry isn't exactly going to help things as well. That's the bomb going to go down towards the A site. Soulcast, I mean, he might as well go for it at this point. You know, it is the final round of the half. Smuya will spot him out, so they know exactly where he is, so the odds are all against Soulcast in this situation. He's being held by Rom with the AWP as well, so with the AUG, with Smuya with the AUG, excuse me, but there we go.
Yeah, London Slayers get themselves to double digits. 10 rounds on that CT side. This is, I mean, especially those last few strings of rounds from London eSports, having Stanley step up for the Slayers to get that triple kill, Smuya with the double, and then when they try to go towards B, almost the same thing happens. Mighty Max comes in, Rom gets 2 with the AWP. I think the thought process is that they want to try and overwhelm that AWP as fast as possible. Like, that is typically how you approach double AWP setups, is that you use your utility to try and flush them out or maybe limit the angles that they can take. But when they went for those rushes, just every shot was hit when they needed to from the side of London, from the London Slayers. But now this is a game of 2 halves. Now they have a chance to maybe come back.
Short pressure going to come through for the London Slayers, but Soulcast getting the tap on towards Stanley's head. Fry will do the same to Thomas, but the thing is, Soulcast gets double dinked by the Glocks as they push through short. Fry is completely pinned here at Car. Just getting the frag. Mighty Max managing to find Fry, excuse me, but Mighty Max still trying to defend this A bomb site so he can get the plant down. Smooya, though, will be there, ready to support. Spots the boost up towards the elevators. That means that the CT players do have to back off, but it's left Mighty Max now in a 1 versus 3 situation. He knows exactly where all 3 of these players are. There's the boost up for Artist, and he's able to find the frag. Ooh. London eSports getting the run.
Yeah, that's the first piece of the puzzle for London eSports, right? You get that CT side pistol, you maybe get yourself up to 7, 8 rounds if you take the first gun round. It's unlikely that London Slayers will buy up here. Of course, of course, what do I know? Okay, so I could see a train of thought where, of course, London Slayers have won a couple of these Force Buys in the past, historically through this best of 3, so maybe they think they can win this right back because...
All blinds.
Oh no, it's gonna happen again. 2 quick kills for London Slayers on the Force Buy. London eSports unprepared for the fast play, immediately losing Soulcast and Fry. And London Slayers have so much control to work with. They have long at their disposal. They've made sure that the upper tunnels haven't been pushed in response from London eSports. So how do you approach this round from the CT side?
Yeah, that is the huge question. They have exactly quite rightfully, as you mentioned, they have no map control. They're going to gamble, though, towards this A side of the map, which might be the right call because the London Slayers are still here. They do have 2 AKs in hand, with the FAMAS being picked up by Rom as well. But those Deagles can do so much damage as well. Artist on the site. Hold manages to find 2 with the AUG. Mighty Max is completely blind. There goes Eccles. Oh, he's fighting back, and Thomas now in a 1 versus 3. Does have armor to go with that AK, of course. There we go. There's the smoke to prevent the Molotovs from spreading it even further, but Thomas gets the tag down on Artist, who's holding the site at this moment in time. Will stay passive behind the box just for now, but he does manage to peek out, and Thomas will pick him off. 2 players left to find now for Thomas. He knows exactly where one is, but does he know where Astro is lying in wait? But the thing is, he gets the kill onto Eccles here. Astro can so easily trade out. He has to lay a straight transfer, and he can't find it. So, Astro winning the round for London eSports, but that is so close again to falling apart on the Force Buy. And look at the money now. It's going to be absolutely terrible for London eSports.
Yeah, and because of that, London Slayers are going to buy right back into this. They saw how much pressure they applied, and honestly, London eSports, that's a fantastic reaction in that 3 versus 5. You mentioned them stacking the right bomb sites, a very timely flashbang as well to open up that opportunity, but they gave so much respect to Thomas to come back.
They did. Once again, long presence being shown as Fry gets tagged down. Astro here in the pit to be able to defend as well. Thomas will go down as the gunfights will continue. Fry able to find one from the car as well. Finds that double spray. Or, well, kill stolen there by Soulcast, you could argue, but fantastic damage done nonetheless. And Rom, the only player left with a Deagle, can't do anything as well. That's a lovely cross for Aaron Long.
The early round battles between the Force Buy versus the gun rounds from London eSports seems to have been put to bed. It seems like this will be the round where London Slayers will take a more measured approach, a bit more conservative, as they have obviously accumulated more round. Actually, rather, they will now be back on a round loss bonus, as London eSports have been able to chain 2 rounds together on this CT side so far. Or rather, sorry, 3 rounds together. I can't count, apparently. But with these upgraded pistols, they're hoping that they can maybe overwhelm the London eSports side. I think, as we mentioned it before, so many of these anti-ecos have gone pretty dangerous for London eSports. So if they're able to convert these cleanly, then London Slayers could be in trouble. Completely
blinded the 2 key players, but they've somehow managed to find Fry, but Soulcast is there ready and waiting to trade both of those kills. And now Thomas, he's got himself a kill with that CZ, but Artist gets the spray down with Stanley. It's a 3 versus 2 retake now for London eSports on the A bomb site. You do have the player of Soulcast that's currently rotating his way up through long, could be pivotal in the way that this A retake goes. Thomas edging his way towards short. Bomb is not going to be planted for either of these 2 T players. This is a little bit of a dangerous situation. Money Max left in the 1 versus 2, finds the kill on towards Eccles. He's only still only got a Glock in hand. How does he do it? Mighty Max. Oh my word.
He wins it out with a Glock.
He wins those.
A Glock. Oh my goodness, that is such... Oh, that is not how you want to lose a round if you're London eSports. The man advantage, it comes down to Mighty Max with the Glock in the 1 versus 2, and he converts. And Smooya, he starts this round as badly as you would have expected if you're on the side of London eSports. Things go from bad to worse as they're fighting back against Scott and Stanley. Up too short. The whiff spray from both of them. Fry eventually finds it with the Molotov. Instead, Eccles, because they're a man down, will take some initiative here. He's going to go and push through the tunnels, allow that stack to come out towards that A site.
It will. Just catching our breath here in the final map of this best of three. Astro, the flashbang is perfect, but he simply can't land the shot. Smooya finding the shot instead on towards Fry. The thing is, Astro now posts up on a new angle, gets completely blind as the cross comes through the gap on the right-hand side. He lands the shot on towards Rom. London Slayers now absolutely petrified of Astro's up. They finally managed to get themselves on towards the A site, and the plant can come through, but Eccles can also be similarly pivotal in this round. Gets a nade to the face, brings him down to 76, gets smoked off as well. Well, was potentially going to be smoked off. I don't think that one landed, as London Esports, they are backing off for this one, saving that weaponry. Oh, all of a sudden this game has come alive.
Yeah, and if you convert that round cleanly on the side of London Esports, right, the round where Max wins out the clutch, then your economic situation is in such a better position. I love that we'd highlighted the fact that their anti-ecos have been poor on the side of London Esports, because it's reflected on this as well.
Yeah.
It happened consistently through this best of three, where London Slayers, even when they're at a disadvantage, find some way to get back into these rounds, even on just pistols.
London Slayers edge their way ahead. They are looking to get themselves a slot inside of that grand final and make sure that London Esports will have to work their way through the lower bracket instead. Oh, this game is going absolutely crazy. But Astro, he'll get himself towards the B site in their usual defaults here. No long presence though coming out from London Esports. Astro lands the shot onto Smooya. That's a fantastic pick this early on in the round, and he will return back towards mid. And well, the London Esports, not London Esports players, the Slayers are going to work their way up towards long. The thing is, only one player to defend this B bomb site at the moment will be Molotov. Ooh, okay, he's going to stay in front of that Molotov. I don't think the Slayers will expect this one. The Molotov won't spread far enough to be able to catch Soulcast. Mighty Match is going to be checking it anyway, as there's the spray through the smoke for Thomas, only able to find one. Tags Astro down to 41 HP though, and they're slowly starting to back off once again.
Yeah, a fantastic start from Astro to get that pick. It's one of those angles as well where I think if you're Smooya, you're maybe holding the high angle. Astro's gone low instead. Yeah. And so they would have both had to flick. Astro flicking that a little bit faster, comes out on top, but they're just not able to capitalize off that space. They work their way around the AWP. Of course, because they did take down Smooya, they can recover a secondary ult that they can bring into this next round. And that means that there can be a presence either in middle and A, or in towards the A bomb site and B bomb site, or somewhat unconventionally, I've seen a couple of teams as well run a singular AWP holding that long position, as well as one going towards either aggro off short or holding that sort of drop-off dragon position, I think it used to be called.
Yeah. Okay, the London Slayers starting to gain momentum on their T side. They have a healthy round advantage over London Esports at this moment in time, as we'll get another buy round on the boards. The double AWP setup for London Esports. AWP on Astro, AWP on Eccles as well. Smooya though, very early, getting aggressive with this AWP, up and in your face, up through the mid doors, or at least it would be if someone was there. Still, slow round for the London Slayers, but the thing is, they're just taking their time in this situation. They've got some short control as well, thanks to Rom, and he'll throw a couple bits of utility over there just to sell some sort of semi-fake here, as the rest of the attack will come through mid.
Yeah, they're going for the B split. Eccles will chime in with his AWP, but there's still more players to be concerned about. Stanley lining up a kill onto Artist. Eccles needs to push on through, take one of these avenues of attack away from London Slayers, but he cannot find it. The Slayers will get the bomb planted on the site, and there's still a lurking presence here for the T side. Smooya will siphon them off. Fry taken out of the round. Soulcast will answer back on the flank, however. They brought it to the 3 versus 2, and Soulcast is about to get double peeked here. The crossfire is really strong here for the London Slayers, but Thomas doesn't even wait for it. He takes him out of the round, and Astro will try his best to save this all.
Why hold the crossfire when you can land the shots like that? That's the big question. Astro, though, going to save the AWP. He will have some company here coming through long because Mighty Max is making his way through the long doors as we speak. It's just a case of when he'll be able to caught out, and he will be able to be caught out. So no weaponry saved for the London eSports side, and you quite rightfully point out to me that the economy for the London Slayers is looking very healthy indeed.
Yeah, it's in a really strong position. London eSports, they're in the complete opposite situation. They obviously saved a couple of weapons before, but a couple of players are looking a little bit shortchanged, and so they're likely to maybe buy up some SMGs, especially with Eccles forcing into this round. They haven't even, it didn't seem like they considered getting to round number 15 and really playing it out from there. It does seem like we have the polls coming out from London eSports. Of course, 14 rounds there for the Slayers. This is a really tough position to be in.
Very, very tough. Very, very tough position. We would give you a view of them, of course, but they're hiding at the back of the arena, so can't exactly get a good shot with them. But we will leave you with your with the London Slayers.
Of course, we also have guest appearances from the likes of Switchblade J, who is one of our casters, as well as Flakes, who is a caster himself, but he's doing intermittent work and doing other things as well. So, just in case,
he should be up here.
Just in case people were wondering. Of course, we're wondering how London eSports get back into this game. It's such a tight affair all the way through until really that round brought things back for the London Slayers, right? That one round on pistols really put a lot of strain on the CT side economy, and then they were just able to chain rounds together off of that. And that's got to be, I mean, I hate to bring it up on stream, but it has to be a bit of a tilting round to lose as well.
Soulcast with the failed boosts up on towards short. Took a bit of time to get himself up there, but the thing is, that's not going to be the shot landed there for Fry, for Fry, who's currently playing in the mid position. Spots the feet of Rom before he's able to see before Rom is able to see him, but Artis will finally get the kill onto him. Advantage going the way of London eSports at this early point in the round, as the rest of London, they'll head themselves up through long, but the thing is the tag is there for Astro on towards Thomas, still trying to find yet more players coming up through this smoke. Thomas will get a kill on towards Ardis as they kind of half out onto the site. Both teams are half out onto the A bomb site right now, but Soulcast will take off the head of Thomas. Such a confusing situation. Soulcast is still here on the site, ready to defend. Mighty Max seeing that Goose right now, trying to spray through the smoke, but Soulcast will find him instead. Finds the second player as well. Fantastic hold there from Soulcast, under pressure.
Yeah, that was looking like a very strange round. I mean, London Slayers, they commit their smokes on towards the cross. They decide to cross the bomb site, but they don't actually make too much progress. And like you said, Soulcast kind of springing through, denying them any foothold. He really came through for London eSports to pull away another round win. So up to 9, but there's still 5 more to find before they can start to feel a little bit more comfortable getting the things into a tie situation. London Slayers still holding a lot of the cards here.
Yep, they will. Up through mids, the London Slayers will go with all 5 players as well. Well, actually, one of them backs off towards the lower tunnels, but there's, oh my god, that shot from Smoothie, fantastic stuff on towards Artis, as Thomas will find the entry onto Eccles as well. So B bomb site is there, ready and waiting to be planted on, and there we go. London eSports, they're not even going to challenge this one. They realize how important those rifles and that AWP is coming into what is going to be 6 match points for the Slayers.
And that could potentially be it here for London eSports. Obviously, valuing the weaponry that they have, this gives them the best chance of maybe coming back into this game, because committing to a 3v5 retake, especially on that B bomb site, very, very difficult to be able to convert on. Even with the utility available, they're not going to rely on those hero plays to bring them forward throughout the rest of the game. They're just hoping that they can lock things down instead with rifles. Of course, with Fry, Astro, and Soulcast holding onto these guns, they can potentially drop over a couple of weapons to Eccles and Artis as well, allow them to afford up armor and utility. But right now, as it stands, London Slayers are in the driver's seat. They hold the wheel and they are driving London straight towards the lower bracket. It may shape up to be that way, but maybe London eSports decide to take the wheel, attach a spare steering wheel themselves as they try to steer themselves away from that fact.
Exactly, we'll see a challenge on towards the long position once again. Rom pushing through the smoke as he does manage to find a kill towards Soulcast. Thomas timing in as well. Fry is able to be there and be able to defend. Finds the 2, finds the 3, finds the 4. But Fry, he's single-handedly keeping London eSports. But in this game, 2 versus 1 becomes the round win for London eSports. That's the round they so desperately needed, but it still backs up against the wall.
The first 2 entries go their way. Fry has stepped up when they need him most. That is some strong heroics coming out from Fry. The smoke certainly helping him in those duels, especially those last 2. But that is phenomenal work for him. 10 to 15, still 5 more rounds as a difference between these 2 teams. A pause will come out, and it does. I'd like to imagine this is London Slayers taking a little bit of a breather.
Yes,
especially considering that round has sort of gone from good to suddenly. It suddenly flip-flopped to bad.
This guy with the traffic cone hat.
What? Tagmata. That's his. That's
Tagmata. Whoever you are an absolute legend. That's.
Yeah. You can see that.
Clip it.
You can see the London Slayers are discussing things.
Yeah, they are just talking things over, but continue on.
Yeah, so you can see that they're discussing things. They want to see the sort of the best approach coming forward. I don't think their economy is in the best of shapes as well. So their buy may have a few shortcomings. Obviously, I'm working from memory here. We're looking at the cameras. The man with the traffic cone still very much a part of that. But it has been a pretty close affair in a number of these rounds, and it has come down to some of these heroics to bring London eSports back. You had Soulcast with the triple kill. You've had Fry as well with the quad. But we're right back into things, and it does seem like London Slayers have been able to afford up a full buy, but the reserve cash is no longer present for them.
I want to get an interview with the traffic cone guy. That's all I want. But it's going to be the short play from the London Slayers at this moment in time. That Molotov is just going to delay things, buys London eSports a little bit more time. They have quite a pushed-up presence, though, up on towards long, so they know that area of the map is safe. The crossbow will come out, but Stanley will drop down and start to push up towards the CTs that are trying to face him, but Eccles finds the frag team with Fry, but there's the kill back from Mighty Max. Eccles able to find yet another AWP kill. The bomb will be planted on the A site. Still a 2 versus 4 though for the London Slayers. This retake is so important. They have to go for it. There's no save in this situation because the other team are on match point, but Smooya, oh, he can get death from above. Artist completely not expecting it. That's the first kill going the way of the T side in this. What was 2v4 becomes a 2v2 now as Mighty Max chimes in with a kill towards Soulcast, finds a kill towards Astro as well. Somehow the Slayers have brought this one back. Eccles, that top bomb is ticking away. It's going to be GG. GG. The London Slayers are in your grand final.
That is certainly a way to bring things back. The 16th round comes away from a 2 versus 4 by Smooya and Mighty Max.